Welcome to this part 4 of terrorism. In this lecture, we will take Sri Lanka. How the Sri Lanka was a threat to India, what was the insurgent outfits that was working in Sri Lanka which was a threat for India, and how our Prime Minister Rajeev Gandhi was killed by them. So moving ahead with this lecture, Liberation Tiger of Tamil Eelam, LTTE. There was one movie also made on Madras Cafe where John Abraham was the actor. From that also you will get lots of idea if you have seen this movie, if you have seen that movie. Okay, so the Liberation Tiger of Tamil Eelam, LTTE group, had an aim of a separate land, Tamil Eelam land, a sovereign state that is outside of Sri Lanka, that Sri Lankan government should not interfere and all, that it should be an independent sovereign state, a Tamil Eelam. That was a demand by them, and they were supported by India, though it has not been accepted officially by the Indian government. Mention it, it is just a background information, that is the real information, unofficial information that never accepted by the Indian government, and you can't write these things in your exam that Indian government helped them. No, it was you can mention like it is a conflict situation if some topics like came. So as per some media reports you can mention some part of it, but you can't directly mention Indian government helped them. Okay, so this organization LTTE was considered as a threat, and the LTTE was leading an insurgent war against the Sri Lankan government and was seeking to establish an independent sovereign state that is called Tamil Eelam. So this organization formed in the middle of ethnic conflict between two things, Sinhalese and Minority Tamils. Sinhalese were in the majority and Tamils were in the minority. So these minority raised arms against the Sri Lankan government to get a separate sovereign state known as Tamil Eelam. So according to various reports and media reports, it was that Indian government which played a major role in establishing on LTTE for their national interest, for the Indian national interest, that was established by our external research and analysis wing, that is RAW, and they have provided required money and weapons to them and training to them so that credible counter to the Sri Lankan armed forces can be taken place, and thus it was believed that India took such interest in order to secure its national interest. These things were done, and this has been a part of India's covert proxy war that country has waged in Sri Lanka. But mention one thing, that Indian government never acknowledged those activities. So that's why I have mentioned these things, because most of the aspirants are for the UPSC, so never mentions this word that government has helped in the establishment of LTT in the exam. You can mention the various media reports, and it is a conflicting situation, it has not been accepted, it is a controversial one. So till now government of India has never acknowledged in sponsoring the LTT, but the various media reports and analysis thinkers tell India played a key role in establishing, sorry for this small glitch, in establishing the LTT. But as an aspirant you can never mention these things in answer sheet, and the answer can be written like the role of India will LTTE is a controversial, and Sri Lankan government had accused India many times of the LTTE establishment. Apart from this you can't write anything, otherwise your answer will be disqualified or will get very less mark. So LTTE was established by India. Then why is this group a threat to India? As it was established by India only, then why it is threat to India? So what happened, when LTTE became ferocious, it was become more violent, then Indian government thought it is not beneficial for them supporting that group. So in that case India moved for that a peace accord with them, LTTE, And ultimately this LTTE believed that India was never in their support in the formation of a sovereign state, that is Tamil Eelam, and thus this LTTE made against India. So initially in 1970s and 80s, India had played a key role in sponsoring some of the Tamil militants outfits including LTT. But by 1987, India realized that the limitations of such policies, such a covert operation, will only lead to violence and will cost higher to India. It is not going to benefit anything to them, that if we are financing those covert operations. So ultimately Indian government started scaling back its support with the LTTE, and the Indian government even proposed the India-Sri Lanka peace accord which was to be signed with Sri Lankan government and the LTTE. I'm sorry, in starting I mentioned with the India with the LTTE. No, it was to sign with the Sri Lanka government and the LTTE, where Indo-Sri Lanka peace accord will be there, and so that peace will be maintained in that region. So these were designed to bring peace and stability to in the island nation and to in the Tamil insurgent war in the Sri Lanka. So this step by India was seen as a threat by LTTE because they start to believe, as I was mentioned in the earlier only, so they have started to believe that India was never supporting of Tamil Eelam cause. Rather, India were just exploiting them for their own national interest. Thus, in response of this, they attacked PM Rajeev Gandhi, and he was assassinated by LTTE it was a suicide bomber. So but today this outfit is no longer active and completely removed by 2009 during the last phase of civil war in Sri Lanka. But there may be a chance of some sleeper cells active in the another part of the world, and there is a minor threat to India. So this was only in the part 4 of this terrorism lecture. I hope you have understood this. If you have liked this video, please subscribe it. Your subscription is a form of payment for me. Please give your suggestions, feedback in the link given in the description on my Twitter handle. Please feel free to ping me. I will be happy to assist you. Thank you.